And we are live on Facebook. Okay, I can see some chat messages coming in. Sounds great, all good, perfect. Thank you. Because last night I was live, like I said, in the dog assessment, in the dog APT blueprint. And when I downloaded the Zoom file, my voice was much too loud and very bad. So I've put my microphone a little bit lower, and I see somebody has put their hand up. Let me have a look at that. The hand up. Who has put his hand up? Oh, Bernadette. Bernadette, did you put your hand up because you want to come live with me? Just let me know in the chat, okay? Because then I will bring you in as soon as I will be starting the questions. Good. Now, first of all, we are going to start this meeting just as we always have. I don't know if you have already been to the academy today, but this morning, well, some was this morning, some was at lunchtime, my time, CET time. Bernadette says, no, as a sign that everything looks okay. Fine, don't worry about it. Some of you are a bit shy to be in front of the camera, but that's okay by me. Don't worry about it. So let me move this page to the other side. If there is any problem with Facebook or with the meeting, just send me a little message, okay? Good. There it is. I am going to share my screen with you. So in the equine assessment blueprint, I'm looking to the side because you are looking to that screen where I'm looking at. So you had your module 2, lesson 1 was the front quarters. So area 1 to 6. Then last week you saw module 2, the hindquarters from area 8 to 14. And this week you are going to look on the one hand to area 7 to 15. No, sorry. Area 7 and area 15. Why is it like that? It's because this is, you had the front quarters, you had the hindquarters, and this is the middle section. The middle section on top or close to the top, and the middle section on the bottom. Area 15, you will remember that from the meeting that I did before you even enrolled in this course. That was area 15 to find out if your horse is having any stomach issues. And area 7 is the area that's the most difficult of the whole course. Now, why is that? Let me show this to you. So you are going to find the video in here. You are going to find the information in here, and you are going to find a lot of, how should I say this? A lot of information. Let's call it this way. Let me show you this page. And this page is the big part of, hold on, it's coming on this screen. Let me move it to this screen and make it a bit smaller. So area 7, what you're going to test, it starts here. You can see my mouse. It starts here at bladder 13 and it ends at bladder 30. Now, this is called the associated effect points. All these points are on a part of the bladder meridian from bladder 13 to bladder 30. And bladder 30 is exactly the point where you started last week for your area 8 to go up. So 30 is going to end where you're going to start up to go to 8. Now, in this case, the associated effect points, they have a local function on the one hand, but on the other hand, they will also let you know what's really going on with this animal. So on the one hand, they can have a reaction that will confirm the front quarters. On the other hand, they have points that can confirm organ problems, genital issues, digestive issues, location of the issue. So just have a look here. This, I'm serious, area 7 is the most complex and the most, the area that will tell you the most about the animal, because it has also to do with any emotional issues. So have a look here. So for examples, you will see here what you are going to be drawing on the horse. It will start at bladder 13. We will explain to you exactly where that point is, together where point 23 is on the bladder meridian, in between which you will draw a line. You will divide that in 3 parts to exactly know where each point is. Now, if you have a horse that's not too fat, so you can feel a bit the ribs, you will know exactly where each point is. If you have a horse that is a bit fat at this moment, I don't think that's not the case for us who are going through winter, because through winter, the horses can lose weight. On the other hand, in Australia, it's summer right now. So if they're eating lots of grass, maybe you can't feel the ribs. You still have your blue pen. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but on the blue pen, for those who have it, you have a line here and you have a line here. So the blue pen is divided in 3 parts. And one part is on a normal, regular horse, the size between the 2 ribs. So in between, so here you will have your bladder, a bladder point and a bladder point, and so on. You can just take this measurement, put your finger here between that. Okay, this will be 1 rib. This will be 1 rib. 1 rib, 1 rib, 1 rib. And it's easier to find the points that way. But nevertheless, for all of us who are going through winter, normally the horses lose weight during winter, and it will be easier for us to see ribs or even feel ribs. Feeling ribs is quite good. Seeing ribs, it's less. Than maybe your horse should have a little bit more weight on. But otherwise, by the video that you are going to see, you will know how exactly to divide that line into 3 parts. And then you will know exactly which points are where. But you have to remember one thing. You will have to repeat this, and repeat this, just like with any point. It can be done. Every single person who is in this course can do this themselves at home. I can promise you that. I needed to do that myself in the beginning. And you can do it, but you have to spend the time to do it and to learn about it. Okay. So here you can see the list, and you will see, for example, if you have reaction on the first few points on the bladder meridian, it will either confirm that the horse is having a shoulder problem, a problem in the forequarters. But if you didn't have any reaction on your forequarters, then it is not a forequarter problem. It will be a mental and emotional problem. And don't be surprised with the amount of horses that I have seen, many hundreds of horses, meanwhile, that I have seen, the greatest percentage of horses have emotional issues that the owner doesn't understand, that the owner never saw, that the owner never made the relationship with the how should I say it? They think a horse is introvert or extrovert or right brain or left brain, and they keep it with that. It's not enough. Many horses, it doesn't matter even if they are right brain or left brain or extrovert or introvert, they all can have problems. Only some of them, of course, like the left brain extrovert, they will show it a lot easier of, I don't like this, I don't want this, I'm not going to do this. So this area 7 really, 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 for me, it's like the Bible. It's the Bible of the horse. It's really going to let you know what's going on. And sometimes this is also the point that for some of you will make you really sad, because you are going to discover stuff of your horse that you didn't know. And some of you will feel guilty afterwards, like saying, oh my God, I never realized this. I never knew this was going on. And that's okay. None of us are going to judge you. None of us are going to judge you, because yesterday you just didn't know it. And that's fine. But that's also why it's so important to do this, so you find out. Oh, hold on. Oops, I broke something. It's okay. Don't judge yourself. Don't be angry with yourself. It is okay. So I just see that my camera is a bit high, but that's okay. So here you can see you're going to get an answer if there are skin conditions, if there are heart palpitations, if your horse is having emotional issues, if he has problems with treating conditions, if he has eye problems, genital problems, if there are any liver problems, any digestion of abdominal problems, nausea, vomiting. You know, a horse cannot vomit, but he can still feel nauseous. That's certainly possible. He can have hormonal dysfunctions. Just go down the list and you can see everything that's going on right there. And this is how your horse is going to be able to tell you exactly what's going on with him. So that is also the reason why we see this point. Hi, I see Ron is coming in. Hi, Ron. It's okay. We're still busy. You're welcome here. This is where your horse is exactly going to tell you what's going on with him. And this is really why I'm doing this point separately in the 3rd week. I'm starting it the easy way with the 4 quarters. You don't have to think too much. You just have to follow the tips, the way how to do it. And then I went to the hindquarters that are a little bit more difficult. And now we come to the secret sauce, area 7, who is really going to tell you stuff that maybe will frighten you or make you cry because you didn't realize it. And the best thing I can say is, if you have a red light, take it immediately and start to touch yourself the happy points. And for all of you who don't know where the happy calming points are on the human, let me show you. In the middle of the hands. In the middle of the hands. In between your 2 wrist lines, in the middle. It's all on the pericardium meridian. And 2 thumb widths. Pericardium 6, again, in the middle of your arm. And then in your armpit under your clothes. Okay? And you do that on the 2 sides. And that will bring balance again in your brain. Let all the emotions out. Don't worry about it. So this is area 7 that you are going to have a look at, called the associated effect points. It's all on the bladder meridian. Have a look at it in the academy. Let me now just close this up. And then the second part that you are going to see in this module is area 15. Area 15, you've probably seen it already, but you're just going to get a little bit more information right now. It's where we are going to test your horse for the stomach issues. Is there any stomach pain? Is there a possibility of stomach ulcers? Now, what you have to remember for area 15, and maybe, hold on, let me just go to the link here on my page, and or let us even go through that video. Now, area 7, again, it's a very big video. So we can't just do it. I couldn't just share it, but I'm going to have a look. Yes, I have it. It has been uploaded. And I'm going to see if I can open the page here. Okay, let's spend those 5 minutes on here to see this video. Hold on. Oops, I'm just gonna shut up. I think there's a problem. If I have my microphone on, you can't hear the sound of video normally. Let me have a look. Otherwise, I'm just gonna read it myself. That's no problem. But I wanna go over this with you. Okay. Let's have a look. No, hold on.
For the associated effect points, AEP, from behind the shoulder blade to the base of the tail. One key result in creating the AEP line is to identify bladder 20 and 21. Bladder 20 and 21 are key in assisting colic, the most significant cause of death in horses. The action with the horse assessment stick is to create the AEP line. To do this, create an equilateral triangle with the base between the top of the hip bone and the last rib. Join the apex of the triangle with a hole just behind the shoulder blade. Extend the line above the hip bone and down to the base of the tail. Then stroke between the ribs up to the hip bone. Behind the hip bone, either draw a straight line or fall into the holes more or less a hand's width apart. If a concern exists from bladder 13 to bladder 17, then the horse's shoulder will flinch. From bladder 23 to bladder 30, then the horse will react by flinching either under or above the stick. A reaction in this area usually indicates soreness in the associated meridian. Refer to the AEP acupuncture theory notes and AEP matrix. Let's have a look.
Now it's a question to divide that line in 3 pieces, because then we also know how many ribs are in each of these pieces. But it's all explained, don't worry about it. This is, by the way, my student Kara from Australia. Well, she's now a certified practitioner. And this is quite a healthy horse, so it's not having a lot of reactions. But this is to show you how to draw the lines and what to do. Now, she just showed you 713 to 723. Now, this is, again, the point we are going to look, where what you already started to have for your 8. Okay. So this point, 730, at that crossing, is going to be the end point. So we go then from our 723. She's gonna find that point again. So she's putting her pinky on the hip bone and a thumb at the last rib, and she makes it the triangle. And she's gonna draw that line from 723 to 730.
At the top of the shoulder blade, about half a hand's breadth below the withers, is a small hollow named bladder 11. From bladder 11, let your pointer travel to fall behind the shoulder blade into a hole called bladder 13. Draw an equilateral triangle with its base between the last rib and the top of the hip bone. The top of this triangle, which is a hand's breadth away from the midline, is a point called bladder 23. Draw a line from bladder 23 to 13. So from the top of the triangle to behind the shoulders. There is an acupuncture point between each pair of ribs along this line. Check each point. Pain in the front points, bladder 13, 14, and 15, indicates problems in the inside of the front leg up to the knee, the front of the front limb, or in the chest. This is because each of the points along the bladder meridian on the back of the animal is associated with some particular organ or its related meridian. Pain at bladder 18 and 19, along depression midway between bladder 13 and 23, and approximately under the area where the pad of the saddle would sit, indicates muscle or tendon problems. The horse has 18 ribs, and so counting back from the last rib, the points may be found behind the 14th and 15th ribs. Pain at the top of the triangle, bladder 23, indicates bone problems. Continue from bladder 23 to a point at the top of the poverty groove called bladder 30. Bladder 25 confirms soreness discovered in the forelegs, at large intestine 16, at the base of the neck. Bladder 27 confirms soreness at small intestine 9 on the shoulder. And bladder 29 indicates pain in the mid-back under the saddle.
So I can honestly tell you that you will probably have to look at this video at least 3 to 5 times, again and again, to find out all that is hidden in area 7. Because I already saw some questions that came in for tonight that have now been answered just by looking at this video. So area 7 is the most difficult area to check on a horse. Hold on. Let me put my cable back in. And should be better right now. Yes. So area 7 is really the area that's the most difficult to realize all the stuff it's going to tell you. It's like the Bible to tell you inside and out what's going on with the horse. So you really will have to take your time to go over this again, and again. Okay. And then the other area that you will do in this lesson is area 15, to test for the muscle you have a reflex when you're going to go over the area to test area 15 to see if there is stomach pain or stomach ulcers. You are going to go over a reflex zone. And that's the video that you saw when I did the presentation of this. So that's area 2 that you're going to do. And then the third thing that you are going to do, let me have a look. Hold on. I'm looking everywhere. But where is it? Where is it hiding? It's the swinging leg test. I don't know. It has just disappeared. Oh, what's going on? Oh, here it is. Good. The third part that we have, come on, swinging leg assessment. The third part that we are going to be looking at. I want to see it on YouTube. Good. Hold on. Let me share with you. The third thing we are going to look at in this lesson is the swinging leg assessment.
The hind foot should fall directly behind and marginally overlapping the front hoof print. If the animal has swinging leg lameness, it may swing one or both hind legs inwardly and yet land squarely. It may only be affected on one side and the hind foot will land internally to the front hoof print. If both hind legs are affected, the horse will leave a 3-row rack. To assess swinging leg lameness, stand directly behind the horse as it is being led away from you at a trot, and focus your gaze only on the hind heels. It will be very obvious if there is a problem. This test allows you to have further confidence in your 15 points assessment of a hindquarter problem. In some veterinary texts, swinging leg lameness is considered an indication of either a hock or stifle condition. As a horse has to flex all joints to flex one joint, a swinging leg lameness is an indication of a problem in any of the 5 major joints in a horse's hind leg: sacroiliac, hip articulation, stifle, hock, or pastern. A normally quiet horse that is difficult to shoe in the hind feet, that has no noticeable injury, swelling, or heat in the legs, may be objecting due to pain in the back at the sacrolumbar area. When asked to extend all joints of the hind leg, the back is also placed on the strain. Therefore, with swinging leg lameness, assess all joints.
So it's really important in this case that you can have a full view from behind, straight through the legs of the horse, okay? Because you want to see if he's going tuk, 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 or if he's doing this with one of the legs. First of all, you want him to go straight away from you and then straight back to you, because then you can see both front and back legs, like now. And you can see this camera has been placed still. So nobody's holding the camera. So you can just put it on a tripod. And then the next one is you wanna see it sideways. Because if you see it sideways, you can also put that video on slow motion and really see in slow motion, front leg, hind leg.
Recording this will let you play the replay in slow motion and see exactly where the hind feet are landing.
Because they should land just behind or on top of the front feet. If the front feet are landing here and the hind feet are landing here, we already know that something is going on. Okay, so that's what you are going to see in this lesson 3 of the middle of the horse, being on the one hand area 7 on the top on the bladder meridian, area 15 on the under the belly, that's on the conception vessel, and thirdly the swinging leg lameness test, as we call it. Good. So this is what you are going to do in the first place for the lesson 3 of module 2. And now I am going to have a look to all these questions. Hold on. Rob is asking, you can answer later, but I missed how long to go on each of the happy points. The happy points are what I say to people. I want you to do it at least 5 seconds per point. So I just tell people, hold on, I forgot it again. I forgot it again to put my cable back in. And it says, now it's the good microphone again. Whenever you're using the red light on mode 1 to towards specific acupuncture points, you want to do it 5 seconds. So I say to people, count to 10. Because if they count to 10, at least we will have those 5 seconds. 5 seconds, and remember all these points on both sides of the body, always on the human, on the dog, on the horse, on any living being, it's always 5 seconds, at least in this case. Of course, if you have a little mouse, 2 seconds will be enough. If you have a little Chihuahua, 2-3 seconds will be enough. If it's a big Great Dane, then 5 seconds. Good. Remember, you are not going to hurt yourself or any animal if you do it a few seconds longer. But you're not going to get the result if you do it a few seconds less. If you need to do it 5 seconds and you're going to do it 2 seconds, that point is not going to get the necessary energy to fill up the energy in the mitochondria in your cells So then you're not going to get the result that you want to get. So it's better to do it a few seconds longer. You're only going to waste battery of your torch. That's the only thing you're going to waste. But on the other hand, it's not going to help you more if you have to do it 5 seconds and you're going to say, oh, you know what? I'm going to do it a minute per point. That doesn't make sense either. You're going to lose a lot of battery and it's not going to help you heal the problem any quicker. Good. Bam, 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 bam. Hold on. Let me see. Oops. Equine assessment blueprint. Okay. Oh, yeah. I downloaded already all the pictures that I received. So hold on. I'm going to go to the downloads. We are first going to have a look at those pictures from last time. Why? Okay. Now he's showing them all. I have to think how to make it the easiest way. I suppose it will be by double clicking. Hold on. I'm trying something new. Good. I'm going to do it this way. Let me share my page again. Good. And bum, bum, bum. So, oh yeah, oh, he's already taken these. Hold on. Let me see that I can remove this. So I don't know the names. I just downloaded all the pictures on my screen, so I would be able to show you. Now, for these are the pictures that you send me for the areas 8 to 14. So I am just going to, let's see how it does it. No, let's make it this as big as it can be. No, you can't do it any bigger. Good, no problem. We'll leave it as it is. So when you see the line of your 8 going up here, what you have to remember is that the distance of your line here to the midline of the horse has to be the same as the distance of your line here to the midline. And you can see that this line is further away from the midline at this level than at this level. So what I would do, if this is the point where you started and we have our midline there, then this point will probably end, would be something like this. Okay. And that's for your circle here to test area 10. So I can see here the joint of the hip. What you have to remember is that your circle, let me put it right. Hold on. Your circle, let's see if you can, okay. Your circle always comes pretty close to your 9, to the line of your 9. So if the line of your 9 here is correct, or like here is correct, then this circle, I see the joint sticking out here, your circle, let me move it. Well, the horse is not standing straight now, so it's difficult. It's difficult to do this on this picture. So I'm just going to delete it on this picture because that makes no sense. But sideways, I personally would draw it like this. Now, you have to remember one thing, is that I'm not feeling this horse. I can't put my hand on it. I do feel that his joint is right here, but I want to be pretty close with my circle to this back line so that I'm also going to come pretty close to that joint to be able to test the joint. Okay? Next picture. We need to have this one a little bit smaller. Good. So, okay, it's the same. Okay, so what I'm seeing for me, or maybe this is not the right picture for it, but for me, I see here the tail. For me, this is the midline. Let's see if we have another picture where we can see it better. Hold on. Okay. So in this case, so this, we have our 9 here. He has a nice line. This horse has just been shaved, I see. He has hair here, but he has no hair here. Okay, The circle, I would make it a little, hold on, thickness. The circle, I would make a little bit thicker. Oh, hold on. It's not easy to do this like this. Or I maybe should do it this way. Okay, I would make it a little bit closer to my white line than it is right now, again. And I would make it, in this case of this horse, a little bit smaller, your circle. If you have the joint here and you're gonna make a circle like this, it's never gonna show you any reflex. So you wanna become quite close to that joint. So you wanna be here, you wanna be surrounding that joint and maybe on one side even touching that joint. Okay, so if this is, yeah, what you have to know is that you see here where the hair of the horse goes the other way. So the hair goes that way and then suddenly the hair comes up here. Neither area 11, neither area 12 will ever touch this hairline where the hair is growing the other way around. So this white part is too much. You will have to be more that way. And remember that you're not coming down. You're starting here and you're ending there more or less. But let's have a look if we have another picture that says more about that. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, this looks pretty good. But I would have been, this is pretty good. I don't know whose picture that is because I just all downloaded them. But I would maybe put this line a little bit closer to the midline. If this would be my horse, and I'm just gonna put the midline in right now. So, oh no, we are not gonna start there. It's too far away with this picture. So if this is the midline, then let me choose another color. I would put the other line here more or less, and on this side, I would put that line more or less, I can't feel the horse. I don't know how big the horse is, how high and how wide. So this is what you want to obtain. The red line here is the midline. And then here from my 8, I'm coming up to the highest point on the rump. And then I'm coming down, and here I'm going to push. And this purple line has to be at the same width from here to here to here to there. Let's see the next picture. It's of course sometimes it's difficult to see, but if then this is the midline, that should have been in red. If this is the midline, then my 2 lines will be here. It's approximately, because I can't touch the horse. Good. So from my 8, I'm coming up. I'm coming up to this point, to the highest point of the rump. And then I'm going backwards. Then we can already see here the points for 13. What you have to remember, I can't draw it because it's not going to be, it's the side of the horse. Oh, hold on. That's not what I wanted. This line here that you see here, these 2 have to be counted from this point. Let me put that in yellow. He's changing everything for me. No. It's becoming complicated. Okay. Let me now start a new line. It's from this point, from the midline, that I want to draw my line to the top of the hip bone. And it's then this yellow line that I want to exactly, well, that's not even correct. Whoops, divide in 3 parts. Okay, it's from the midline, from the highest top of the rump, midline, to the top of the hip bone. And then this line, I want to divide in 3 parts. Good. Even, I can't feel the horse, so I'm even tempted. Oh, hold on. To put that closer. That also means that this point then comes closer and this point goes closer. Do you understand what I mean? Say yes, please say yes. That somebody say yes. Okay, next picture. Let's make that a little bit smaller. Again. Yeah, we see your 9 here. You see, you can really see the groove here, his poverty groove. So your 9 starts where your 8 started. When your 8 starts here to go up, that's also where your 9 starts. And make sure that your circle of 10 comes close enough to your 9. And then we have this picture. Okay, let's have a look. So we have 1 up here. Remember that 1 will probably already be under his halter, his head collar, okay? That's where 1 is going to be. Hold on. So his 1, let's put it in red. And put it in red without the end. So his 1 will already be probably under his head collar. 2 looks fine. 3 looks fine from here. 4 we will be there. I can't see that. 5, okay. For 6, I will take the top of his shoulder here and I will, oops. I will draw the line to know exactly the height. And you see, it's just a little bit above, but it's really pretty good. And then I will start making my cross and so on. Okay. Here we have a little issue, but it's also that he's standing with his leg to the back now. The top of the hip bone, well, I can't make a curve with this one. So if I'm here on the above the hip, it means also that under the hip, it will be to the right. I put my hand and I feel here above the hip bone, then that's 11, then my 12 will be here. So it's never straight under 11, it's a bit more to the right. And then we also see that our line from 13 comes straight on the point of 11. This looks good. Your 14. Let's have a look. I think you send me another picture. Yeah, here it is. Good. Let's scroll down. Okay. Yeah, same remark here. If the point starts, so let's start again with imagining more or less that this is the midline. That also means that if I start here with the other points, my line will go this way. It has to be at the same distance at this point to the midline as from this point to the midline. So, hold on, starting here. Oh, he's taking the same one. Starting here. Come on. Starting here. He's not letting me. Oh, boy. Come on. This is a no-no. Okay, if you start here, then this point, well, you know what I mean. Let me just push this away. But you see what I mean with my purple one. Okay, now you have to understand something. You are never going to learn this by just doing it once. You have to do this, you have to take the pictures, and then you have to compare it with the videos that you saw. And none of my students have ever been able to do this from just say, wow, I saw this and I'm doing it right away. No, you need to learn it step by step. Okay, good. So these are the pictures that I have received. Okay, hold on. I see that I received some messages in the chat. Let me have a look. Loic, perfect. She's only small 14.2. And Corinne says yes. Loic says, where are the happy points on the horse? They are in the same place as on the human. So what you do is you take your human book or booklets, you look up the happy points on the pericardium meridian. 3 points are on the pericardium meridian, and then 1 point is on the heart meridian, and you just copy them in the same location on the horse. Okay, good. Let me have a look at the questions that I have received from you this time. Let me have some tea. Okay, Catherine. Hi, my horse is currently on yard rest with a ruptured peroneus tertius muscle. Should I refrain from carrying out any testing with the ununiball pen on areas that are linked to this injury place? Catherine, to be honest, if this would be my horse, I would not do any real assessment on this horse right now. What I would do is I would take my torch, and I know you have a torch of mine, the Pro Torch, I think. Start torching your horse straight away. Standard points, first 9 ting points. You're going to learn all about that next week, but I want you to do this right now. Okay, and standard points, ting points for the first session. And then I will want you to make sure that you're doing gallbladder 34 really well for muscle and tendon issues. I would also want you to do bladder 17. But if you want to, we can talk about this in private. You know that with the Pro Torch, you have 2 online sessions included. You're doing this course right now, Catherine. I understand this. Please, if I were you, just start doing it on the horse, doing it with the pen, just drawing it on the horse to learn where it is and get knowledge about it. But your horse will be obviously in pain. I don't even know if he's taking medication, if he's getting any painkillers, or what are you doing? That would be interesting to know. The fact is that even with points doing on the front quarters, you should already get a result on area 1 that there's a problem on the hind quarters. And what you have to know is with every reaction that a horse can give you, it means he's not too happy. If I would do anything on your horse, it would be just area 7, the one you're going to learn now, to see if there are any emotional or mental issues going on with your horse because of what's going on in his hindquarters. But leave the hindquarters alone. And why should you leave the front quarters alone too? It's because any problem in the hindquarter can diagonally, horizontally, vertically have a result on the other part of the body, meaning if he is having pain on his left hindquarter, well, he will be putting more weight on his right hindquarter. So that right hindquarter could be sore too, just because it's avoiding to have the weight on the left one. Now, that's not the only problem. it can also mean that if it's on the left hindquarter that he's having the issue, the front diagonally, front right front leg, right front leg up, yeah, can be sore because of the issue he's having diagonally on the hindquarters. So it's a vicious circle. I would, in this case, draw on your horse, whatever you want to do, but I would not test him on front quarters or hindquarters. I would start torching him ASAP. Making sure to torch standard points, sting points the first day. As of the next session, you can join the points for the hindquarters, starting on the right side, with right side, I don't mean right or left. I mean the side that's hurting the less, that's not having the problem. But all of that you're going to learn next week, but just start doing this. And if you want to test something, just test area 7. That's the only thing I would do this week. Okay. Bernadette, what if a horse has a hoof problem? Then the only area he reacts on is area 5? Question. And how do I know what hoof? Bernadette, you are too early. You are going to know more about that by doing area 7. And certainly for the information that you're asking, because your next question says, and how do you get information about tendon problems? You are going to learn that in your associated effect points. Okay. If you just go through the list, you will see that your bladder 25 is going to tell you if he's having problems in the lower limbs. By doing your front points, you will know if there is like area 3, it will tell you exactly if there is a problem in the front leg and which one, left or right. And your area 1 is going to tell you if there is a problem in the hindquarters, left or right. And then by doing your area 7 that you're going to learn right now, is going to tell you exactly if there is a problem in the lower leg, yes or no. And then together with the other points, which you're going to see next week with the results in the course, it's going to tell you exactly on which leg it is. But a problem like a tendon problem, like a hoof problem, you will also find out doing the swinging leg assessment. Because some horses a horse is a prey animal. It's really, they do whatever they can to not show you that they are hurting. But when you're doing the swinging leg assessment, you can't hide it. When you're going to start to trot sideways, you can put your videos in slow motion and exactly see where those hoofs are landing. And one hoof can be landing a lot shorter than the other hoof. It's going to be showing. Same thing when the horse is trotting away from you and coming back to you, you can see if there is a swinging in the leg and so on. So don't jump the gun. Go through this. Okay, go through this new part of the middle part being area 15, area 7, and the swinging leg assessment. And then I thought of already opening the results on Thursday, but I'm not going to do this. What I think is going to be better if we do it a little bit slower. And with that, I mean this. This week, take the time to go through area 7, 15, leg assessment. And then this weekend, for all of you who have a quite normal horse who is not in a lot of pain, not like Catherine's horse who is injured, what I would suggest to you is this weekend, first draw on the horse your areas 1 to 15, then look at the videos again to see if you really did it at the right location, the drawing, and then do your assessment for real. Try to videotape your assessment. And then once you have done the assessment, out loud, you could say, area 1, he tried to bite me. Just an example. Area 2, he's turning his head. Why am I saying this? Because maybe that horse is doing that. But is it the reaction we're looking for? That's the important thing. And in the beginning, you are going to be so concentrated with what you're doing that you maybe not take into account that the horse is not doing what you're looking for. So what we are going to do this Thursday, we're not going to have a meeting. We are going to have our next meeting today in a week. We're going to organize to go through area 7 and 15 and leg assessment in the next few days. And this weekend, you are going to try to chalk on your horse area 1 to 15. And then Saturday or Sunday, you are going to make that video for yourself. Do the assessment for real, either with your blue pen. Where is it? Either with a blue pen or either with the Uniball pen. Make sure to always use the rounded part. Never the sticky part or never anything with a point. Don't do that. Good? And then next Monday, I will open the module 3 about the results. I have no problem to do this a little bit slower if that is easy for you. So you have the time to absorb it all. Okay? Any more questions? Let me know. I see Catherine says that's great advice. Thank you. He isn't on any medication. If he isn't on any medication and he has muscle issues, you can be for sure that he is, how do you say that? He's not a happy trooper because muscle injuries can hurt. So what you also have to remember then that when that's hurting, I don't want you to give medication. Please don't. Just take the torch. Take the torch and do the standard points. That's going to relieve his pain, mode 1. But I do want you, if you have any idea where the rupture is in the muscle, where the cut is in the muscle, put the torch on mode 3 on there, a minute every day. Because he's going to have some scar tissue growing in there too. You want to take care of that. And that at the same time, it's also going to relieve his pain. So it's important to do that. Loic, what about if a pony has mud fever? Can I do a full session on her or will it bring up false results? Any of you who is having a horse that's not well, that you know is not well, that's having any inflammation, that's having any pain, that's having any injury, you do not touch any of that zone where the injury is or where the inflammation is. If you have gone through the information booklet that says about the information and what you have to fill in with the details of the horse and name and so on, you will have seen there is a page in there that says, so you're going to present yourself to the horse, you're going to meet the horse, you are going to touch the horse with your hands. You want to feel for any bumps, you want to feel for any lumps, you want to feel for any cuts and bruises and scars. But you're never going to go with your pen over that. If you have any bolts or inflammation, because that's really going to hurt that animal, you want to take your torch first and help that animal relieve the pain. And for Loic, I don't, I see just Loic, so I don't even know your name right now. They're all on her legs. No, then if there is no inflammation in the body, if there is no swelling, you can do the assessment. But do know that your horse, any horse or any human or any animal who is not well, he's never going to give you the same result because he can be feeling pretty sad, pretty bad, pretty painful. So I wouldn't be surprised then that you, Loic, that you're going to get results on area 7 in the first 5 ribs. Okay. Good. Any more questions? Any more questions? No? Let me check here. Hold on, let me scroll down. Ah, Betty Ann is here now too, just joining now. Oh, that was 22 minutes ago. Oh, Betty Ann says, just posted my photos a few minutes ago. Hold on, I don't know if I will. Okay, I have a picture. Oh, and whoa, more pictures have arrived now. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'll have to, I can't download them now because it's too late. I'm just gonna have to try to open them this way. Hold on. Next time, please be a bit earlier. Share. Let me share my page if he wants to. Yes. Let's have a look here. Catherine. Yeah, now it's the computer is going to be a little bit slower. Hold on. Okay. So, Catherine, the same reaction that I can see here. You started here pretty close to the midline, but when you finish here, you are a lot farther away from the midline. So this line should be closer up here. And then I see your circle here for 10 is too high. Right here, if you can see my mouse, I can't draw on it now because I haven't been able to download the picture because it came in too late. Right here is his hip joint. So I'm going to draw with my mouse. I'm going to draw the circle. So my circle would be here. Okay? Because right here is his hip joint. It's right here. The problem with your horse right now is he's not having any weight on his left leg. So it's hard to see because this looks for me pretty low to have the hip. But that's also maybe because he's not having any weight that his skin lowered. Otherwise, I would say the hip bone is right here. And if the hip bone is right here, then your 11 would be right here. Then your 12 is here. Now, it is possible that he's just standing on his side. No, he's not standing on his side. He has no weight on this side. But anyways, if this point is your 12, no, it should be here. Now, if you say, no, this is my 12 and my 11 is somewhere up here, I don't know. I don't see 11 then. So I have a problem here. Maybe you could post me a picture from the other side. Your 14 here is just a little bit too high. I would, where you are ending here, I would bring that a little bit lower. So you feel here where the last strip of your horse is and you want to be halfway. So make it half of it a little bit lower. Okay? So start here. Go up, but it's pretty good. Okay, let me see the next picture. Oh, here is another picture. Okay, yeah, the same remark. This line should be closer to the midline. And yeah, so this is for you, your 11. I can't feel the horse right now, so I can't tell you, but for me, the hip looked a little bit higher, would be here. That means your 12 would be here. Really, your line that you have here for your 11, you really have to be able to put your fingertips over that hip bone. So if you don't really can't feel it, try it on another horse because your horse is maybe avoiding putting weight on this leg. Because if this leg is the leg that is hurting, probably because he's not going to put a lot of weight on the leg that's hurting, for sure. Concentrate yourself on healing this, on stimulating the healing of what's going on with your horse. That's what I would do. Good. Next picture. Okay. So I can't see the line, but it's pretty close to the midline. That looks good. And so, yeah, beginning in 9, that looks good. Make sure yet that the 3 lines, the division that you're going to do, they are at the same distance. So here you have 1, 2, and 3. These 2 are pretty close, and this one is further away. No, they have this one. The first one would start here, would start a little bit higher. Okay, and they would all be at the same distance. This is maybe, I can't see it really well because it's a flash picture. Maybe it would be a bit higher. I can't really see it. So right here, I can see the hip joint. How can I see the hip joint? Because I have X-ray vision. I've seen so many skeletons, pictures, not real skeletons, but I've seen so many skeletons. I know where the joint is. So I have a joint here. So the circle could be a little bit less going down and a little bit going more to be closer to this line. So we certainly want to be in that neighborhood of that joint. So if this is 11, then 12 is here. It looks pretty good. 13 lands on 11, looks good. And we have our 14 right here. Could be a little longer, but looks pretty good yet. Okay, let's go down. Okay. Still challenged with winter coat shedding. That's normal, don't worry about it. The main thing is that you would feel here. Feel where that muscle is, or look at your horse walking around to know exactly where that muscle is, because it's never ever a straight line. It's always in a little turn. So here this looks good. We have our 8 here going up to the highest point of the rump and coming down. So you see here, Betty Ann is staying really close to the midline. That's really good. Your 10 is just a little bit too much to the side of the horse. You should be close. For me, if your horse is going to have his pavity groove, it will be rounded. So I would take, it would probably be this line normally. That also means that your circle is going to come closer to that line. Okay, so he's having his hip joint right here, smaller circle and closer to your line of 9. Okay, so as I said, your 10 should be a smaller circle, smaller, not bigger, smaller circle, and close enough to your 9. If this is your, closer to your 9. If this is your 11, then your 12 is right here. Yeah, so 11, then 12 is right here. Our 13 from the highest point of the rump has to land on 11. So your line for 13 here to test muscle or bone issues should be a little bit more like this, because it has to land on 11. It starts from the highest point of the rump, which right now seems to be here. So it would be here and then going this way to land on your 11. And then divide it in 2. And this is your 14. Looks pretty good, ladies. And that's the last picture. Okay. Wow, it's already 10:15. I should be in bed. Betty Ann is writing. Sorry, I had client appointments. Is 14 on top of or behind the last strip? No, it's behind the last strip, in the middle of the last strip. So you first feel where the last strip ends, and you know the last strip is a lot shorter than the previous strips, because rips become like this, shorter and shorter. So you feel with your hand where the last strip ends, and then you want to be in the middle. And the trick is to go up. It's not like saying I scratch down. No, the objective is to push up. Rap, rap, rap. Not rap, rap, rap. Tuk, tuk, tuk. It's the other way around. Okay. Well, if that's it, that's going to be it for me, because I still have to go live on my page now. And it's bedtime. I should be sleeping right now. Night, everybody. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.